How to get a business loan up to 2 million, 5 million plus incredibly fast without collateral, no hard credit checks, bad credit is acceptable, 0% interest for 6 to 18 months, and a lot of different alternatives to the SBA EIDL, PPP loan, employee retention tax credit, and other programs. But more importantly, have you ever been called, emailed, text messaged, they found you on social media somehow by these organizations, lending companies, perhaps other agents, brokers, who are overpromising and under-delivering for you? Who can you trust? Are they trustworthy and reliable? Will I get the most strategic partnership and roadmap? And also this, really helping out an individual who I have a relationship with, not only in business, but also in a personal level. How can they help me attain the right type of financing, and why should I trust them? Hi, my name is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm an expert business loan broker who helps out a lot of businesses get the right type of financing, a better strategic partnership and roadmap. I have access to the best lenders, underwriters, and network of people on my team that can help you get the best financing. And you're probably wondering who this guy really is. Why should I trust him? I know he's an expert, but can I really believe what he has to say? So without going too deep into my story, because I have that in the bio, and if you're watching this later on YouTube, I'll leave it down below. You can learn more about who I am. But my question to you is, would you rather help out a medium to large, even a smaller business, but somebody who's just advertising an online marketplace because they have such a high advertising budget? Not saying that I don't. It's just I'm more strategic in my own approach. But they're just mass marketing to you. They can put hundreds upon thousands per month, if not that, more or less, to put their ads out in front of you. But are they trustworthy and are they reliable? I'm not going to start naming these companies and start bashing them entirely, but there are a lot of flaws and cons to going to them. So be very careful. And at the end of the day, this will make sense for you. And I spoke to an individual over the phone today just saying, hey, I'm always looking out for small businesses or businesses of any size. And I know just how hard it is to get started from the scratch, from the beginning, not even able to put a dollar or a penny together, honestly, whether you're traditional brick and mortar or you're online and in other ways. And so I voiced my thoughts on that, saying, hey, you have to be careful about going to XYZ, because these places, they will just distribute your information to other third parties. They just have an organization of lenders who you may not get the best look from, and they may not be worthy to you. And now your credit is being shipped and shopped around. Now you're getting contacted. You're wondering who these people are. How can I trust them? And how can I even move forward with them if they're not even taking care of me on a personal level as well? They're just looking at me as a number. They're just looking at me like as an insurance company or an auto dealership, where they're just trying to make money for their business at the end of the day, and they're getting out in front of you perhaps more than I am. But the difference between me and them is, yes, you get the best, but you also get my network. You get that Rolodex. You get those people that are really going to be taking care of you. Myself, my team, my lenders, my underwriters, coming back time and time again, a better strategic partnership and roadmap, and so much more. And the biggest difference is I'm looking at it from where you've been. You maybe are already up here. Maybe you're here, you haven't even gone started. But I know what it is like to completely start from scratch. Nothing. Trying to develop businesses. I got into digital marketing agency, affiliate marketing businesses, being a business loan broker, expert eventually, and this is what I wanted to do for a long time. Now this is my other business, and the one that I solely focus on right now, while I can outsource some of my work there. So my question is always, I know where it comes to, and I know where I had to get started. I'm sure you have your own story, but in a similar way, we've had to scratch. We've had to work our way up. We've had to learn concepts. We've had to learn frameworks, processes, systems, automation, and what drives these. And getting to that first dollar, $500, $1,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000, and you can break it down to however much you want, profitability, and so forth. But any chance that I get to help a business owner, even if it's medium to large, it could be small, just remember who you're working with and that person who's been in your shoes before. because I know how difficult it is for you to go out there and seek financing. You're out there on Facebook, you're skimming the web on Google, and then you get one of those, I'm not going to say the name of those companies, but you get those ads, and then they're so enticing that you just click on them and you go over there and you start an application. It could seem very robotic. You get a representative, hey, just send us over the 3 months of bank statements or whatever we need, and then I can get you a term sheet. And that's all you side with. And so you have to be careful about that. And I'm not saying they're not legitimate. A lot of them are not. And some of them are just what they are. And they don't give you maximum funding. You don't get the best lender, the best network, strategic partnership with myself, who's been doing this for a long time in every industry I've gotten funding for, literally. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I know what I bring to the table. And again, it comes back to that relationship you have with someone. And you have to think about it and go, I'm also helping out another small business. And I know what it is like to have been in his shoes, and I'm currently going through what he already went through, and he understands my position. He's really taking care of me, and I do. I take the time to take care of people on that personal and human level because I like to get to know people to an extent, and that depends on how much you decide to open up. As an introvert, it is difficult, and it's difficult for me to trust others. So if you're asking if he can trust me, I'm asking the same thing about you. I'm very punctual and disciplined, but I can remember this as far back as starting and working my whole 9 to 5 after college and not being able to move up another position, being overpromised, underdelivered, literally underpaid. That's an understatement. And then the company ended up going down under. Luckily, I was in contact with a friend of mine through a Snapchat app. You guys can go watch the full video of my story on that. But I was detailing how I was sitting at my cubicle where literally it's like a dungeon. There's 3 stories. We're contracting and helping out HP, one of the bigger contractors, for that company in a logistics / finance / so I was working on the computers and then also moving media around when it got busy. And it wasn't as busy until like the last year. And I decided I'd, maybe look for something else. But getting more stability and being able to move to that position didn't eventually happen. The company ended up going down under. 50 plus people, even people high in the HP, Peace Health world, they were let go. People on the very top, they do that. Companies will skim. They'll see the books and they'll see where can we trim. Whether you're very helpful to them or not, bye-bye. And I was helping out the boss of my company. And I know the boss with HP there that was there. And so I was able to speak to them, collaborate with them, gave them some of my ideas. Even with the company that I was working with them there, I would go into the rooms and we'd put some things on the drawing board with systems and mathematical stuff and saying how we can improve this and how we can make this more efficient. And so I've been in that position working both here and here, although I'm physically not built to do stuff like that. It was just a position I got into for more stability. And so ended up going down under. I started already preparing for another way of earning money. And so I got into these whole passive income streams. Perhaps you guys have heard of that. Started learning how to build a digital marketing agency just through watching video content. Really had no mentorship. There were people out there, but I was not going to put down $3,000 or whatever money like a lot of us think. Like, I'll just start at this. And it ended up working. I ended up getting clients. And then I used that knowledge to then purchase a course after I was earning. And then I said, how can I improve my systems even better? So I've always been in that position where I'm a very savvy, intellectual, cerebral type of person who was able to take that energy and time and work it through as I was on unemployment. I was going through the whole food stamps again, unemployment again. It felt very embarrassing. Yes, it did. I kid you not, going into the grocery stores and showing my EBT. I didn't want to do that again. I felt really bad. And it was just how it was back then. And I said, I'm going to take some time right now and I'm going to build something from the bottom up. And I know how hard it is to build that foundation. Even if you know it's proven, even if you know if you've seen it, someone else do it, you're going to try to replicate that. But you have to do it in your own ways. And that's what people will gravitate to. So without going too far into my story, things started going up for me. And then I had to build things. And it still took a lot of time to first earn that dollar and so forth. And then finally I started finding my way and understanding how to get financing for them. And then eventually I got into the space of business loan brokering. That's where it started to flip a switch. And I then really understood everything with the lenders and network that I was given and that I had gone to and said, hey, I can help you guys bring in people. I know how it is. I may not have produced this, but I have this experience that I have in the background. I can back things up. I'll show you some things. And eventually I got into that circle of spear, of that Rolodex of the highest in the industry. And I work with people now who are not publicly out in the open. These are exclusive lenders who I can take your file to, and absolutely they would love looking at it and we would take care of you. And I did it today where I helped out a client who recently had another offer. And be careful, this comes back to the whole, like you have that in with me. And think about it, even if it's not the strongest personal relationship with me, you have to think about the way that this works. And you're also helping out a small business. You're helping me drive more into my own business so that I can circulate the cash flow back into the business so I can do what it is I need to do, whether it's ads or not. And I'm not appealing, like, I'm not saying I don't run ads. I'm saying that the way that I appeal to the marketplace is different than these other online marketplaces do it. And a lot of them look at you as a number. With me, there's that personal impact. And on the business level, as an expert, I analyze the documents, I analyze the bank statements, I bring people in, I walk them through, I tell them this is what the process will be like I did today with the client. Sent them an email, went through the email with them together, clicked the link, walked them through the application, submitted everything we needed, and then now we're assessing them. And I moved it over quickly because he has offers from someone else, and I'm saying, like, I don't work with them. I would never want to work with them. I know how they do things. And it's unfortunate that most people, they end up finding that ad online and they end up clicking it, or they hear about it and they go, oh, this is a good company. Well, there's better out there. You just hear it a lot because that's how they're advertising themselves. And they have a lot of lenders going into their platform, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are the best. And now your information is being shopped. I'm getting comments on YouTube as we speak with people who have applied to these types of places, and I told them not to. That's why I create content like this. And that there might be some advantages there when it comes to working out that offer and saying, okay, what was better? What was the best? And maybe we were able to drop the rate, or maybe we were able to give you a better prepayment discount, early payment discounts, no prepayment penalty. And maybe that's what it comes down to, those two things or three things to those ones that you're comparing aside. But I can say this, that whether I took you to direct lender or I took you into my own brokerage that I am set up with, where I already have those direct lenders. I go a lot of the times into this brokerage because I already have those lender partnerships with a lot of the ones that you've probably heard of already. And I can take that file and entertain one, but realistically say this is the one. And we know, okay, over here you were given this amount, 100,000. Over here we could probably get you 150 to 200,000, if not more. And if it's not, and if it's just 100, we could drop the rate. We can probably give you a better early payment discount. And over there, it could become very predatory. You have to be careful. Like I get people every single day who text me, send me a direct message. They go, Michael, you don't know how. I had a chat with somebody yesterday from a certain area, and he goes, yeah, you don't know how many of these people have pretended to be like you too. And there's people who are pretending to be me, like on TikTok, so be very careful, as well as on other platforms. Make sure you find the right profile, the right links. Don't come up to a Nigerian prince and somebody who's pretending to be like me and telling you to submit an application, you have to pay up and you have to do all these things. It's very predatory, especially with these more quote-unquote legitimate online marketplaces or other lenders and organizations who just want you to come in. And they have, I want to say, a lot of these have stolen my own clients. And it is unfortunate sometimes because I can't do anything about it. They're over-promising sometimes, under-delivering, or they might give them the right thing, but it wasn't the direction they should have gone into overall, and the numbers looking like it, future-wise, like what we've set up over here versus what they have set up is much better. So there have been instances where I've lost a lot of these people where, just for not valuing enough of that relationship with me and having that link, I'd like to say, to having access to those lenders, those networks. And so that's the difference within me and someone else that you go to. So just think about it the next time you go and try to get business funding, a loan, or any other sort, that you're also helping out a small business. What did they do to earn your business? Okay, they earned your business by just showing you an offer. Maybe they bait and switched you and then told you, oh, we can't work this. We thought we'd get you a monthly. Instead, we can only get you a weekly and a daily. Like they weren't upfront with you. They didn't give you all the details. You didn't deal with a broker and an agent who could guide you in the right direction. That alone should PO you off. And it's like, you think about it and go, you're helping out a small business in myself, where again, like I said, I'm taking this and I'm putting it back into the business so that way I can help more people out. I can donate to charity. I really do. And I think about these things thoroughly, how I can even help out my own family. You go to them, yeah, you're helping, but guess how many people they're bringing in? Guess how many ads they're rolling over? How much they're spending just to get those people in front? And if they lose you, okay, so be it sometimes. They don't always think of it that way, but it's like another dollar for them. It's another dollar for them. But when you're helping out a small business owner like myself, and by no means I'm not saying I don't make anything, but what I'm saying is you're helping out a business owner and a business who's going to continue to work and perform and continue to show up and create value and circulate this over and over again. So you continuously know what to stay up to date with in the market. And I truly do take the time with each individual to understand who they are and what they're trying to accomplish and what we need to maybe work on also on a personal level if need be, and then what we can do in business. So just keep that in the back of your mind the next time you're looking to get a business loan, a term loan, an advance, and a line of credit, combination, an SBA loan, equipment loans, business credit building. You're trying to build your personal credit, you're trying to repair your credit, and there are a lot of other alternatives. Maybe even just trying to build your website, because that's something that I help people with too. I have more of a do-it-yourself now. I used to do it done for you. Now I have more of a do-it-yourself, and I have video tutorials, and I have guides on this, and these are bonuses that I give away to people and extra stuff. So it's pretty cool when you come through me, you're going to realize my world and what is the benefit, what is the trade-off, what is the price elasticity, and all of this stuff happening when you're commoditizing these products and services. Because as a business owner, we don't wake up in the morning thinking, well, we should get a loan. No, we are like, we need a loan if we're growing and expanding, if we're just trying to survive and thrive. Everybody's different. And so every situation is different. I have business owners who have to fix their credit, people who are disapproved today, yesterday, will continue to move forward. There's a chance on that we can take, but if we get feedback that you have to improve your personal credit, don't shy away. Hey, what are you doing to improve your credit? What do you need to do? Hey, we got to do credit repair. I have a source that I can help you with, get connected. Is that something you're willing to do? Here are the benefits. Here is what you're going to have, the requirements, paperwork. Here's what it would cost you per month. And it is very reasonable with who I have and my sources. So I guess just to round up this video, and I'll come into the comments here. Thank you guys for being patient. That remember, always think behind something. There's always something more. And you're always going to have to question that offer. You're going to say, hey, what else is out there? I don't want to rush to things. And these other organizations may be telling you, hey, if you don't accept this offer within 24 hours, we are declining it. And you may think you have now fear of missing out. They're causing urgency. There's all of these tactics, and I know all of these tactics. Because why? Because I've worked as a digital marketing strategist for a long time, aside from being an expert business loan broker now. And I know that world of what is offer sensitivity. What does it mean to put an offer in front of somebody? What does it mean to have somebody act on it sooner rather than later? Yeah, there are little things like that where the lender's not going to want to wait. I get that. That's standard. Sometimes they won't want to wait because they want to move and circulate their money that they have. And if you don't say something within a week to two, I can hold it off because you know me a little bit. But if you don't come back, then what happens? You come back, start another application. Maybe they won't accept you for all the open applications. You're just kind of messing around, just trying to see what you can get. The next time around, you just did the same thing, expecting a different result. And then you did it again. That's not what we want. And stay true to your word. I stay true to what I'm doing and what I say. Sometimes I can't make appointments. And today I've had some appointments I've had to cancel on and others I couldn't respond back to. I had a few clients today in the morning that took up hours of my time. Literally, with the lenders, the underwriters. I had to submit some files really quickly, and it was a lot of back and forth with the lender, underwriters, and my team. And so we got a lot of things done, which is a great thing, and it had to set back my schedule. So if one of you here is wondering when I'll get back to you, I'll go back to email you, go back in our direct messenger. It's just that I got so caught up today in working things through. Now let me go to the comment section here. Good question, Joseph. I'm not sure if you're still in here, but for the audience, what are my thoughts on if somebody wants to become a commercial loan broker? Great question. I can answer this in so many different ways, but ultimately what it comes back to, aside from the strategies, the processes, the systems, and automation, everything that I have already built, like I built myself, and I learned it from a little bit of someone else, but not really anything from them. Like I've had to endure. I didn't spend on those courses for $50,000, $30,000, $3,000. I learned what I had to learn because of my background as well. And then I could say, hey, I could purchase that to see how that would improve it. But really, did it improve it? Not really a lot. I just learned a little bit maybe about some certain software and stuff and how it can lessen and make it more effective. But it isn't so much of a significant difference. So what I recommend first is go back to your why. Why do you want to get into this field? And don't go into why as in I want to make more money or I want to provide for myself. And that could be a good reason, but more internally, why is it that you want to be a commercial loan broker? Because if you just say, I just want to make money and just do that, that's not the reason. Like my why is because I wanted to get out of that whole unemployment, that whole out of rut phase of feeling like I was just disappointing the closest people around me, and not having to continue down that route where it's just another 9 to 5 and being underappreciated, undervalued. Underpaid is an understatement, guys, in this economy and what we're going into. And so I just didn't want to be that person anymore. I know I was smart because, not because I went to school and did well and, played Division I soccer for sometimes does that mean anything, does that I'm smarter than anybody. It's just I always had that work ethic, and I had that understanding and observation of things and how to break things down meticulously. And so I just wanted to really understand how I can provide for my own family without feeling like a disappointment, and being able to free up more time so that way I can give more away to charity, give away to people that are in need, really take the time to value, not only in terms of content, but value people for who they are and what they have had to endure. People that don't have what I have, and I'm just being so appreciated of things, and just remembering my family and who's been backing me up every step of the way when I was at my worst, and then when I was just trying to get out of that hole. And I'm sure some of you in here can relate, but it was just, and another reason, there's people in your life that affect you. I have had coaches, mentors, way before I got into the business field, and so a lot of them were just there all the time helping and understanding that what I could become, and my younger brother as well, and a lot of the things that I had to go through, and having to be the person who put myself and was an example, and I did that for a long time, carry that on my shoulders. And then just recently my dog passing in February, so I don't want to go into that, but I speak about it in other parts. But him just being able to spend time with my dog brother, little peekapoo dog, white dog, more one of those rare kind of breeds. Very great family dog, awesome, and him passing at 15 with kidney disease, and so I don't want to get into that, but it's just the last days that I spent with him, he couldn't breathe, he couldn't digest his food, and so we had to do syringes, and I was there for him every step of the way until the very last day where we had to put him down, make that decision that day. We had to, and had to change things. So it's like that right there for me is my drive every single day. Just knowing that, he saw me at my most vulnerable. He saw me when I was on my breaks. He would come into the room when I was working. Perhaps you guys saw him. We'd be on the bed sometimes just hanging out a little bit. Me giving him that comfort, him giving me that comfort. And so it's like growing pains are what make you a lot better. And so I know that happened, and I think about it every day. And that's what drives me, just be like, he made me better. He made me understand people. He made me understand that I have a work ethic and that I will get somewhere if I continue to think smart and work smart. And so that ultimately is why, a huge reason of why I continue to do what I do, because, I treasured, and I was so much more grateful to have him and see those remaining days, because until you see something like that, and then my grandma passing just a month before, having been with her every single day, visiting her and her brothers and sisters and everybody, the whole family there, and making her smile, putting a smile on her face, and just all these little things. And I don't take one day for granted. I never do. It's just I'm so appreciative. I think about the people that are not with us. I appreciate them every day. And you have to work like it's your last day, that you're never going to be here on earth again. You're not guaranteed another second, a millisecond. I'm not guaranteed I'll be here another minute with you guys. I'm not guaranteeing that I'll be here tomorrow. So every day I work like as if it's my last, and I do it effectively. So I hope that kind of opens up a little bit for you guys there. Hi, Mark. You can get a hold of me by bio, link click, first button, click the funding submission form, and then it'll land in my email, where then I will evaluate, analyze, and give you a proper response back if you haven't yet. Do you need help with working capital so I can scale and grow my business? Awesome. What type of business do you run? I mean, maybe it's an indication by your username, maybe some kind of cigar shop or CBD. But if you need working capital so you can scale and grow your business, that already, without me knowing the exact use of your funds, which you can share if you're still in here, that would be helpful for me to know on what you're trying to do. Because sometimes people will say, I want to get a new office space or a commercial building. And so we have to take that maybe a different route, where we go SBA 7A CRE loan. And then on top of that, we can add an additional working capital. Or it's a different format. But That would be helpful to know. But in the bio, you can click the link. Go to the first button is one that I would submit. The second one should be the real estate form. First one, business funding form. Fill out your details, and then I will be able to evaluate them and analyze them. That's a good question. How can we get in direct contact with you? And I know what that means. Most of the time, I don't just pick up a phone call out of the blue. I've said this the other day, not because I'm not available or because I'm not better than anybody or that. It's just because I get a lot of people who want to speak with me, and I just can't be on calls 20 to 30 times a day. Can you guys just imagine that? Me being on a phone call? If you know me, you're like, this guy's like this introverted guy, and I can do well on a call. It's just there's a time and a place. So what I recommend is filling out that funding submission form so I can see some concrete details. I may allow you to do a consult with me, but it'll have to start direct messenger, Facebook or elsewhere. And if it makes sense to get on a phone call right then and there, like with what you need, what you're trying to do, is this time and energy efficient for me right now, then I will probably do so, and I'll let you know, or I'll give you a phone call, and then we can discuss some things if you have a little bit of time. I won't take up too much, and I'm not a person that's going to harass you or heckle you. I actually like to, crack up a joke that's very like dry and very old person oriented, because I'm an old soul at heart at 30 years old. You can think of that. A lot of my family, if they would say something about me, they'd say, at my age, I'm wise. That's at least what they say. And I try to carry myself that way, in the way that I think. Hi, Robert. How are you doing? Hi, Lanny. How are you doing? Bio again, if you were watching, and then link click. Or you guys can go to viralfundingsolutions.com. Let me go ahead and list this in the comments right now. One second. Sometimes the email doesn't go through, excuse me. So I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I put my site and I also put my email address. If you send me an email, I'll likely respond back, introduce myself, welcome you in, and then I'll send you a link to my questionnaire so you can submit it, because I need to see that. Just imagine if we were on a call and I was gathering all the information over a phone call. That's fine. I can ask you those questions when I need to and write them down, but it's more efficient for me to have you jot it down, and then I give people a customized questionnaire response that's very personalized too. And it'll show you your best funding option and options, whether you can qualify for them or not. But then by then, if there is a phone call, at least we have that. At least you look through that email. Hopefully you did by then. Sometimes people don't. And sometimes people just ignore it. Other times you just get busy and you forget to come back to it. But when you do look at it. So if we got on a phone call, now you have everything you need. Did you read over the first option at least? I know there's like 20 options, but the first one's the best one. At the end, there's going to be a conclusion and a roadmap. So then by the time we get on a call, you're like this. Yeah, Michael, I just had a question and I needed clarity on this. Is this okay? Okay, good. Thanks. Boom, done. See? Simple. This is very real and this is live. And this is unlike anybody else's systems, processes, and automation you've seen in this space trying to help you get business funding. And I do it very professionally. As punctual as you can get, disciplined, and I do care about you and your best interest at heart. That's not just a saying. Those of you in here watching, you guys know and are a testament that how I've helped you. And if I haven't helped you yet, you've been on this live and you know more or less the expectation that I bring, and that I don't mess about. If you're serious and you want to work with somebody who's serious, you have your person. Instead of just going everywhere and anywhere, spray and pray method, you don't want to do that. And then your information is now revealed to the internet. I've had people who've had their SSN at fraud. They can't clean that up. They have to wait over years. People who are dealing with other factors where it's probably a personal credit thing, but because we're looking at revenue and because who I know and who we're getting this file to, they go, oh, that's Michael. And he's brought me this client before in the past who's had a similar issue where, okay, he has maybe an offer here, but I know we can do better. We can do better. Even if it's not the maximum amount of funding or more, sometimes it comes down to other little details like early payment, the rates, we probably could increase the terms and so forth. And if it's some of that too, we can also say, hey, you paid off this amount, and realistically, this is what our numbers would look like, and they look better here than the other places. And at the end of the day, as I said, value your relationship with someone. You don't want to just get on a call or somebody call you and just got your information, or they stole your information somehow, and they go, hey, just submit us an application, and you're feeling happy because now you're just trying to find different things to do, as opposed to, hey, we had a brokerage here where I said, again, I already have those direct lender partnerships. Now we're just taking your file to these 3 in the construction space that I know about, and they are the best, literally. And they've seen so many come in and go, and so they go, okay, this one I've worked with roofing contractor, this one has as well, but this one actually is going to look at it more closely and give you better early payment discounts. So I'm going to entertain these 2, take away this one, and then say, okay, when the underwriting comes, which one is my favorite? This one is right here. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to do that. But this one is going to be my favorite, and this is the one to go with, and we won't be like, we're going to be exclusively looking at it, not like shopping it and sending it out to like 50 different people, and you don't know who those 50 people are. So we're very protective of you and what it is you're trying to accomplish. And in other cases, it's okay to take it to a direct lender. I'll let you know if that's a good thing or not a good thing. And those direct lenders, like I said, I already have that partnership here. It's just better here with more flexibility, and you get a lot more. And so in this market, I would advise against going direct because they are very scrutinizing, and they can give you higher rates, lower terms. The funding doesn't start off well, and that relationship really doesn't solidify. And you have to work with like a broker. You have to work with somebody who knows their way in and out, who these people are. And like, I'm working on the back end. You guys don't know this because you guys can't see it. I can't disclose. I can't show you guys that for those kind of quote unquote legal reasons because of clients on the back office portals and stuff like that. But I'm managing all this stuff in the connections that I hear back from the underwriters and my team and who we work with. So just so you guys know, there's a lot that I do on my back channel. Bio link click, Robert. If you heard me say this earlier, or anybody else, that you can go to that or viralfundingsolutions.com. Email me, first name Michael, Michael at viralfundingsolutions.com. And then you'll get to know me a little bit. I mean, there's also my story if you haven't already, but then I'll get in touch with you, send you that email link, or you can go to the bio, click the link, description down below if you're here on YouTube or somewhere else, and that link will be there. So it'll open up a window and you'll be asked to submit the questionnaire. But first, click one of the 2 buttons. If you're a non-startup, if you're a startup, click one of the 2 that applies to you, and then you'll see that form. And you can literally finish it in less than a minute. I know it's a little bit longer because I put it a little bit longer, but that's just to weed out the people who are not serious with me and the people who are just heckling, the people who are just tire kickers. There's pretenders and then there are action takers. So when you fill out that form, you're working with somebody legitimate. Like, it comes to my inbox. Like, I've said it here on these lives before, and I've done it live yesterday where I went in and I spoke about how people have these funding details. So what are the chances of them getting this? People text me today, hey, Michael, I didn't get approved and I know the reasons why. Okay, well, can we work on your credit? What do you need to fix on that? Do you have anything derogatory? Does it need a form of credit repair? I would say let's do a form of credit repair. And then in a month to 3 months, hopefully less than that, we can get it done, taken care of. And then you can come back and then reapply. But then avoiding all that, you're going to have to do some kind of crowdfunding, angel investor, venture capitalists, hedge funds, etc. And if you keep avoiding the diagnosis and just go after the symptoms, you're not fixing anything. It's like you're going to a doctor. You want to fix your back pain. You have degenerative disease. You have a herniated disc. Your lumbar vertebrae. What's going on? Your sacroiliac joint. Like, why is it inflamed? You think just masking it with some kind of cream that's not going and penetrating the skin and going through into the inflammation, some kind of fibrin blocking you from those red blood cells and white blood cells and all of this, making sure it does its job. And that's one business that I ran for a long time, and I still do. I helped out people in the health space, so I understand these kind of concepts. Good question. What about rental property of refinance? Yeah, I can help you with the refinance situation. That's not a big deal. We can talk in terms of numbers and all of that when I have more information. I can't just start putting numbers out there. I know you would like me to say that, but that's just the reality of how it works. But yes, and I'm not going to be that standard, just submit your application. Until then, we can't see your terms and rates, which is true, but I'm not going to just jump on that. And you have to be careful what other people are buttering you up with. Like, hey, yeah, we can work this out and try to get it done. Yeah, property refinance, consolidating, anything that you need to take care of on that matter. I just have to get an understanding of like the fundability details and like what existing loan amounts, what are you trying to refinance, what is the property value at, what would it cost to do all of this, and so what kind of liquid assets. That may not be so much of a factor at that point unless it's property purchase. It's a little different. But these are little questions that I get to the nitty gritty of, and sometimes people get like turned off because I'm actually like solving bigger problems. Like, there's a bigger problem behind the one you're giving me. You may not see it, or you may, but you're avoiding bringing it up. Not you specifically, but certain people, I go, okay, there's a bigger problem why you're getting what you're getting is because you haven't done this yet. And so when people get that aha moment, they go, finally have somebody who tells me that, Michael, if this is going to take me 1 to 2 months, I don't care what I pay for it, Michael. Just get it set up with me. And then when it's done, we'll come back and get you that type of financing. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I'm very appreciative of, and people know this, that I don't scam. I don't do none of that. I had a lady the other day, or today actually, she said, what was it, over a text? I think it was, where was it? I think it was over here on TikTok. Yes, I haven't gone to my Instagram yet. And she's asking, what would it cost for me to get service with you? And I said, hey, don't worry. There's no application fee. And I don't do any of that. And be careful about who you turn to, who will want you to do that. So with me, I'm very transparent. Like I told her that very first thing I said, like, hi, how are you doing? And then I got into that a little bit. So that with me, you're going to be rest assured. You're going to be more comfortable working with me. I'll tell you that right now. And I'll follow up with you accordingly. I won't heckle you, harass you, or be that person who sends your email after email about, just only about, hey, come submit an application, come get started. What real value are you getting from them, from doing that? You got to question yourself. As I said earlier, Cigar Man, yes, I can. And have more funds reserved for payroll. Yeah, if you decide that you have enough, and sometimes most individuals and business owners, they don't get enough for their payroll, because when you come get funding for payroll, even any kind of overhead expenses, the lender doesn't like to approve for like the most amount. Now, if you come to us with a growth and expansion project or projects in mind and what that entails, like if there's a story behind this, sometimes that's how people get more of an offer. Like if we look at it and go, there might be needed an underwriter call just to hear them out and hear, okay, well, we're going to give them $160,000, but seeing their numbers better and what we have, if we ask for a tax return, if we did, and if we needed more documents for certain services, we go, yeah, you have enough that you can service the debt. We see that you're making payments on this on your personal side, debt obligations and other interest that'll be paid off in about a week or two. Yeah, and then with your project that you have, you can't really wait. So yeah, it makes sense for us to give you a little bit more. So a story helps with that. And if you have a higher percentage for growth and expansion, definitely the lender loves that more. We love that more because it shows us that, hey, if you take this money, like you take 50,000, it's all going to be used to payroll. You're not going to be able to justify taking 50,000, paying back 65,000, 66, 59,000, whatever that amount is. It shouldn't even be a question if I'm paying 15 to 20, 11 to 20, or whatever it is. I get some people are like that, but that's just the world it is when you're looking at revenue-based financing without collateral. Non-collateralized lender assumes 100% of the risk. That's how it works. You're taking your own risk and you're taking somebody else's money so that you can make more money with it. So you take 50,000, you turn that into 70. Take that, even if you just turned it into 60,000 and it wasn't right where you wanted it to be, then you go, okay, I have a plan so then I can use the rest of that money, and then I'm circulating money with what I'm using. And then now you're making 70, now you're making 80, now you're at a 5%, 10% profit gain in margins per month. And then what does that look like in the future? What could that look like profitability-wise? Why did you take a step back? Okay, what do I have to do to not just break even and actually increase my profits? And so you got to have a long-term play at this and say, if I didn't get everything that I wanted and I paid it off and 50% of it is done and I'm eligible for more funding at this point, I get an early payment discount, heck yeah. I'll be done with this. I needed 9 months. No, I just paid it off in 6 months. Come back, get more funds. You were eligible at 3 months, 4 to 5 months or so, halfway there. And then you go, okay, next time around, instead of getting approved for 50, maybe I get approved for 100,000, double, if not a little bit more. And so by then, you can lower the rates, increase the terms. If you were already at a low rate, we could probably get you lower. If so, terms, I've seen people go 15, 18, 24, 36 months, boom, boom, boom. And that's why you want to be able to build that relationship. And then with someone like myself, you come back again, guess what? We look at the same lender. Or, hey, now you moved up a level. You advanced up. So now you're up the next level, like Mario moving up the ladder, going into little tunnels, jumping in there. You guys know the sound. And it goes to the next level. Now you build, and you build. Now you're at from daily to weekly, weekly then you're at bi-weekly, weekly then you're at monthly, bi-weekly to monthly. Then you are moving up an SBA loan. Now it's on the table. It wasn't there before, but you worked on your business credit. I have people right now who are going to be coming back to me because they worked on their business credit, because I showed them where to go and how to do it properly. And only the best. I don't do this with cutting corners. If you want to work with the best, you get it done by the best. And the value is there as opposed to the money. So the value and the money here. So your thought is always this, but the value that you're going to be getting, just imagine that, being able to repair, being able to get business credit in 1 to 3 months, you're on the right track. At that 4th month, you really have it a little bit more established. Realistically, 6 to 8 months, you have those revolving lines, you have those installment loans, whatever you will have that you are building underneath that, vendor credit, retail credit, fleet credit, etc. Now you're more positioned to then go to that one lender who's going to accept business credit and say, hey, give me that 10-year working capital loan. I'm looking now for that up to 25-year working capital. And the difference when you go to a broker, I'm the one handling the documents. I'm the one pre-underwriting the file before I send it over to the lender. You just don't want to give up your documents. You don't want to just disperse your credit profile out to the web. And there's a lot of predatory companies out there. So yeah, hopefully, I mean, that's an extended-winded answer. But yeah, we can definitely get you help for payroll and for scaling, growing, and expanding your business. I mean, that's awesome. And we can talk more on the back channel. When you submit that questionnaire, I'll likely respond back to it. You can honestly, like, this is what a lot of people do. I did that with the person today. And I had submitted this questionnaire back to him, and he had all his options. I said, hey, just revert to the first option. It's in green. Underneath there, you'll see everything you need to know about it. Then you'll see the documents application. Click that link. That's what the lender requires, and that's what we require. And so click that link. Then we'll go over to the application process. You'll submit these documents. You already know that because you read it before, so you know what to expect and have ready. And then this is what it'll happen. This is how I'm going to follow up with you. This is my team. This is why they do what they do, and this is why we are the best at what we do. And we'll always know what's happening in each stage of the process. I know what's happening in underwriting. I'm getting that feedback. I'm getting contacted by the lenders. There's our network that we communicate on our back channel, our portal, and this stuff that you guys don't see because you guys don't have access to. And very sensitive information at times and stuff that I can't always share with you. And I have that. They have such a strong relationship with me, as in vice versa too, that they know me so well that they know my integrity. They look at me and they trust me so well about how I disperse information and how I go about helping businesses. Do you work with a brand new company? Do you work with a brand new startup? Good questions. Absolutely. 110%. I get a lot of startup companies. However, there's not a catch. The difference is somebody who's a startup in pre-revenue, I can't take you over to a private lender or these private investors. I mean, it's different when we're talking crowdfunding, equity crowdfunding, and these private investors, angel investors. And I have those connections. But when you have pre-revenue, you're limited, and you're gonna want to leverage your credit. So make sure your personal credit is up to par 4, But make sure that you get your credit up at least to a 680, if not a 700. Then we can start looking for those personal loans and start doing installment loans, lines of credit, credit cards, a combination of them if need be. And that's where a lot of people are going right now. They go to fix their credit. If you need to have your credit repaired, I can discuss with you what that entails. Metro 2 disputing processes. What is everything, all this, and what is it going to be with the price? So without a shadow, like if I submitted you over to my team who is specifically the professionals and best in this space to do that, to take care of it for you, because if I did that, I couldn't be spending too much time on helping you guys with the funding here. So I did that for some time a while ago. But if you really want to have it hands off and say, hey, just take care of this for me, please. Can you have this please get reported and taken care of and withdrawn from? I really heard from this Michael guy who said, I can't even get a weekly repayment. Like, it's hard to get monthly. I know that, bi-weekly. But I really didn't want to do it daily. And if it has to happen, it has to happen. And most business owners, they come back to it and go, Michael, let me just start with an initial amount. I can't wait 1 to 2 or 3 months sometimes for the credit to be all taken care of and everything being updated or so. And that's okay. And I'll let you know. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm here to be your best friend. Literally, you're going to be talking to somebody who's like, you've known for a long time. You'll hear it in my voice, not acting. You're going to hear it because my ethics of who I already am. You're going to hear the person who already amounted to doing things big back here with school, doing things and being the underdog for a long time, and not athletically gifted, but I had outworked people because of this. And working and being in different industries, I had gone away from school. I had worked in construction, I had worked in manufacturing, logistics roles, of course, financing roles to an extent, and then working in other sections long time ago, long time ago, warehouse, earlier 20s too, I'm talking about, and somewhat mid, but I've been there. I know what it looks like on different board meetings, or when people get together and then they were discussing like, how can we improve this? And I've had to step up. And I was at that point where there were people in front of me and I knew what to do. And sometimes I couldn't voice what I wanted to, although I had a better way of doing it. So that's just what happens. And if you want to be stuck as an employee, it's just sometimes you don't have that voice and you don't have that control over what you make, over what your decisions are. Can I take a week off? Yes or no? Right now, if I asked you, can I take a week off? Like, all right, you guys can give me permission. But I'm saying as in, can you guys take a week off? No, I have so much. I can't. So what do we need to do? Instead of looking at how we can, because most businesses, and I'll come to the comments, the way that they trim and try to be in better profits per month, per year, is not what you think. It's not about trimming down the marketing and advertising budget and going backwards to say, hey, I'm saving more, I'm spending more, and I'm making some and I'm making enough. So they trim their marketing, and instead, it isn't that. What it ends up becoming are the services that you have and how you delegate those. What products and services do you have? Have you worked on that one and said, hey, this is the one that's being most effective and we're putting the attention to, and it's growing and expanding our business. So what do? Of course you double down. You don't just go to another product and start working on that or that service. You start doubling down, like growing and expanding your business, scaling it. You bring more people on payroll. Boom, 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 boom. Our focus right now is to make sure that this product gets in the hands of X, Y, and Z type of people and the amount of people. And then if we met our goal here, the rest of it would take care of itself. And so you're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on that service and saying, how can I make this most effective? How can I make it more enticing? How can I put an offer around this product? And instead of dropping the prices, what business owners do is they drop their marketing, their advertising, there are other areas, then they drop their costs. Don't become a commodity. Charge a higher price at a retainer. Try to have people on a retainer over and over coming back to you. And then think about how you can raise the price for that one service. If it's of higher value, of course, then that could become a higher price. And if you can have that one person charging at a higher price, think about what you would get per person. Now you're not having to sell at mass volume all the time. Now, if that's your business, that's your business. But now you have that one product of many that you're saying, hey, if I built something on the front end, they get this product and then they get access to another product. And then there's a value ladder there that they can continue to climb. So you have to focus on how can you make that one service, that one product at the most efficient scale. Now, I've done this for businesses in the past. I've done this. And without knowing like all of the numbers and everything, I can't say that. It's more of a general matter. But when I get into the business and I understand what they're doing and how they're allocating their money, a light switch, and things can start changing for you just like that. Welcome in, the real Tarzan. How are you doing? Hi, Samuel. How are you doing? Thank you guys for being patient. I'm coming to the comments right now. You really need help. You can quadruple your income with capital. First of all, I appreciate you letting me know that there's a specific quantity. You can quantify it by quadrupling it, not just tripling it, not just doubling it, singling it, but you can actually quadruple your income with capital. And so without me asking too much about how much you're making, because again, I can get into this and I've done these things in the past where I've had an audience and I'll start asking you questions, but for time. But I would get into things and wondering like what you're doing, what's your plan? How are you going to quadruple this money? What are you doing per month? How's your business going? All these things. What type of business are you in? But for time on this video, and I'm going to get going here soon. I got to go get ready. I'm going to go to Costco later. Got to do some last minute Christmas stuff with the family. And so wish me luck. It'll be crowded. And so without me getting into that right now, go to the bio, click the link, and then fill out the funding submission form. This is what happens when you're talking for a little bit. You kind of strain your voice a little bit. Funding submission form, first button, and then fill out those funding details. Funding form brings you up to my landing page. Click one of the two options. Non-startup, startup. It looks like you're a non-startup if you're at that phase. Click the left one. It should be non-startup. Brings you to my form. Fill out the form. Boom. It'll land in my email. And I'm getting people submitting them as we speak. I'm not opening them right now, but I see them on my screen. And so they're going to pop up right there, and then I will take time. I'm going to try to get it out to you before the start of Christmas. Maybe you'll have it on the weekend, so you could do this. Wouldn't you love to have that, like a document or an email you could just refer to and be like, damn, this guy just sent me like a billion options, but the best one's the one to go with is the top one. But at least I know, like, if I did this, here's my roadmap. Like, I know that option now, and I'm going to come back when I'm ready to do that. Or, hey, I'm going to add this service on top of that service. And because this guy showed me that instead of taking this option, there was this option. Would that really help you? So bio, link click. You can go to viralfundingsolutions.com. Michael at viralfundingsolutions.com is my email. And we can get in touch. Say, hey, this is Samuel, or this is Lori. This is X, Y, and Z from TikTok. And there's people who do that every day. And I go, hey, Joe. Hi, John. And then I go back to them and I send them an email back and then get started with this questionnaire. It's simple, straightforward, energy, time efficient. Ah, you're a creator. In what type of space? With 3 million subs? Ah, hey. How long have you been doing that for? And I mean, how long did it take you to get there? Maybe there's some people here in the audience who would like to know how to start their own channel. It's hard for me to be on video, like it's contrary to popular belief, because I'm an introvert. I'd rather blog, and I have blog content that I still need to finish up, the little bitty details to it, and I'll be putting it on the blog here soon. But I know this is of value to you guys. But yeah, 3 million subs, way to go. That's a huge feat, an accomplishment. I know you have your YouTube platinum or so forth, gold. But yeah, that's awesome. And if you need help with this stuff, I'm definitely there to help you. And somebody that I can relate with as well, because as a creator, you know how much energy and time to devote to these things. And sometimes you have to be more prepared and have a schedule. When you have a schedule of what you're going to be releasing, you have it already done ahead of time. Like I've already produced content before Christmas and those days, like the transitional period from 25 the 24th through the 1st, I might not be on video as much. I'm going to be around a lot of family. So I'm already like looking already for content that's already being distributed by that point. And some of the things that I may still have to create time and time again. Help? So yeah, hopefully the real Tarzan that helped you out, if you're still in here watching, you can email me, first name Michael, Michael, at viralfundingsolutions with an S at the end.com. And or go to the bio, YouTube if you're watching this later, down below, or another channel, and I'll leave a link for you there. Click it. There will be a set of buttons. There will be a lot. Don't be overwhelmed. First one's the best one. There's a reason why I set it up categorically that way. First button, real estate, business funding. Second one, traditional real estate. Even if you're looking for an SBA 7A commercial real estate loan, you might have a property already in mind. Boom. We're looking at some other forms of renovations, refinancing, rehabbing. What is your position on that? And then we can work towards it. Underneath all of that, you'll see other options like for startups as well, and extra resources, the employee retention tax credit up to $26,000 per employee, which is one you guys want to jump on top of and see if you can get up to $26,000 per employee before it ends here, the end of 2024, 2025. It could be gone by then. I'm not hearing an extension of it yet, but I would jump on top of that. If I can get a certain amount per quarter, 2020 to 2021 per employee, I would have already jumped on that like that. I wouldn't even have bothered time. There are people who are like jumping on my inbox right now who are just saying, hey, Michael, can you help me with the ERC process? Most definitely. Here's where you want to get started. Here's the process broken down. Before you go into an application, I'm going to show you everything, like my review of this, how this actually works. So now when we're in the app sequence, this is what you're going to need to upload with payroll and tax documents and how we revise things and the payroll management experts, the CPA getting in contact. If there's an attorney involved, how do they handle things on their back end? And I work with the best, just so you guys know. I vetted this. Like I scoured, I got connected with people, and I started learning more about, okay, this is the one, and this was some time ago, but I'm still like trying to find which ones that in this industry, okay, I have already 5X amount, now I need one more for this, boom, there's the one, and then boom, this is the one to go to. I don't think I saw an SBA lien question. Is it for EIDL related? Obviously, if it's SBA 7A, they want to come in the first position. They will, I don't want to use the word strongly as in allow it, but yeah, they will consider it on what kind of lien it is, on what you have. So, and then how soon or when will that be removed? So it is flexible, just so you guys know. It isn't going to write off the file. So I'm scrolling up here to see if I missed anybody. Okay, I don't think I did. No, guys, don't listen to the person who just commented. They just said search for. Don't be delusional. Don't be... I mean, I'm not saying you don't, but let's please use our common sense. Like, who's going to go... I mean, somebody will. If somebody's that desperate. And if I comment... if I post a video like this or on YouTube somewhere, sometimes I forget to say, please be careful of who comments down below in the comment section. But it goes without being said. Like, there are people who are very, very deceptive. And some of them I've seen, like, very, very, like, hard to tell sometimes. But I know because I've seen it. For someone else, for the trained eye, they wouldn't. But people do, like, a follow train. Hey, does anybody... Like, I got a guy the other day who said... Or, yeah, a guy who said, is anybody looking for a grant on one of my comments? And I go, they're using my platform to get in contact with other people without my permission in that form. And I commented back with a question mark. And they said, hey, why the question mark? I still haven't gotten a response back, or I probably did. I don't think so. I've looked through things. Might be sitting here later sometime if they decide to respond back to it. But I said, hey, they said, why the question mark? And I said, why? Because I have so many people here who are predatory. I'm not saying you are. I'm not attacking you. But the behavior of it is, and you might have this intention, that you're just trying to get people into your service and your program. Is it legit? Is it not legit? Whether it is or not, it's not the way you effectively use somebody else's platform. And there are people on Facebook right now who I have to go in, submit a complaint for because they created a profile like mine. And to all contrary to popular belief, they're helping me because they've put my link on their profile. So if anybody clicks my link, they're coming to me. I guess more exposure, but that's not right. So I report those files a lot of times because they're pretending to be like me. They put the banner, they put my face on it. And it's just people who are corroded in this industry, very predatory. Be very, very careful, especially right now during the holidays. Does anybody else have any questions? Or I'm going to get going here in a little bit. I got to get going. There's just a few emails that I have to look at before I leave too. And I'm doing that now. Sensitive emails for clients that I'm getting feedback from my underwriters, and the other ones I'm getting contacted by lenders for certain things. And I had to move my schedule, like I said, around today because I've been quite busy. There was a lot of sense of urgency. And like I said, just to end this video really quickly, just to kind of recap, we already recapped more or less, but be careful of who you're submitting your file to. Just because you see those companies, and I'm not going to name them, who advertise extensively with a higher advertising marketing budget, doesn't mean they're better. And just because they're going to say, hey, if you submit something here, you might not even know this, but then you submit it and it's a huge online marketplace where they're just sending it anywhere and everywhere. They may say, hey, I'm going to send it to 2 to 3 people, but it isn't always the best scenario for you. They may not even be the best. And the relationship you build with them is just, it's misconstrued sometimes. And you're just not caring enough about who you're working with. Maybe you're just looking at it as a number. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I look at both sides of the equation. You know, how much to an extent personally, that's one thing. But then on business as well. And getting you the right offer. Making sure that everything makes sense. And it has to make sense. Because if it's not something you want to start with, I'm not going to pressure you. It has to make sense for you. And if you need to wait a day or two for an offer, for somebody else to help you, like myself, people come to me all the time. Hey, Michael, what can you help me with? And I just to tell them, like, this is what you should have done. And I know you didn't know any better, perhaps. Somebody tried to steer you down this direction. But here's the consequences of doing that and not doing it in the way that I have it set up. So be very careful. So about 30 more seconds. And then I'll leave my story down below. I kind of more or less went into it. And I can feel it picking at my brain that I didn't think I would be going into the latter part about, who passed and so forth. But hopefully it kind of just shines some light into who I am and what I am as a person, who I am. And I'm just an ordinary person like you guys. I'm not trying to take advantage of people. I'm trying to do what's in your best interest. I'm not doing it for the money or the commission. Yes, it's a business, and at the end of the day, yes, that has to come in at some point. But for me, it's the value that I create for you guys, and I show you guys the right direction, the value, the bonuses, the stuff that comes with me, and not doing it for the sole purpose of making a higher commission. Like somebody's gonna bait and switch you because they want to sell you that merchant cash advance or that type of financing that's going to produce to them a 6 to 9% or so commission, and that's not what I'm about. Like, I could care a little bit less than that. Like, if I'm going to take you to somebody who's going to give me a 2%, so what? I'm doing what's in the best interest for the person, not for me. And I know that they can qualify for something better, so why are they going in that direction? Just because somebody wants to make a bigger amount. And that's not how it works. I'm not like that. That's not my value of, hey, make bigger money or make more off of one person, but hurt them. That's not what I'm here for. That's wrong. Okay, guys. So that'll be everything from me in this video. Maybe if I missed one person's comment, question, I apologize. I think I got them all, and I kind of had to, in a more or less way, speed through this. I have things to get back to. I got to go to Costco later. I do some last minute Christmas shopping. I was there just the other day too, and we missed a few things. So I'll be walking about. I'm the guy who kind of like wanders about by himself. And what my family's doing, she's doing something else sometimes, and I help. But it's like I'm looking at things and just kind of have my headphone in. I'm listening to a podcast where I'm in a group setting and I'm just listening into that group on Clubhouse or elsewhere. But yeah, I think that'll conclude everything for now. Appreciate you guys. Happy holidays if I don't talk to you guys. And make sure you guys stay warm. Appreciate every day you have. Be grateful for it. It's not about the gifts. It's about giving more than anything. And I'm not saying giving a gift is the primary answer to everything. Just giving yourself to them. Being there. Being present. Not on your phone. Text messaging. Answering phone calls when you shouldn't be. Having a quick laugh or an extended amount. And really conversing with people. Catching up with them. And if you have that luxury to do so, I know not all of us in these times of needs do have that. So that's why, it's very important that you can give more off your back, even if it's a very little. And that shows and demonstrates a lot. And that to me goes a long ways in how I see other people. So that'll be everything from me. Appreciate you guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Perhaps you'll hear from me before then. But keep looking out for my content. YouTube, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content. And if you like this video, please share it with others. I know I didn't say it earlier, but share it with somebody, plenty of people that you feel will get value from it, that they need to stop going around to these places and stop doing what they're doing and start paying attention to somebody who's really going to show them what's in their best interest at heart, ultimately with my network. So that's it for now. Talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye.